What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. And in today's video, I'm bringing you something special. We're going to be going over Propstream again. I did one of these tutorials a while back, but I want to make sure that I jump in, show you it again, show you what it can do, and show you the new stuff that it has. Propstream is an all-in-one real estate investor tool, and every single wholesaler that I know uses it. So if you're not already using it, today's a great day to learn about it and then sign up. And I have Burton here with me. He is the master of Propstream, knows everything about it, and he's going to be running through it with us here to show us exactly what you can do with it, how it can benefit you to succeed more in real estate. So thanks, Burton, for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me, Jacob. Again, it's always a pleasure to be here to help people understand how they can use our system to get their real estate journey started or take it to that next level. So again, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Every single sales guy in my office uses Propstream on a daily basis in order to figure out what properties are worth in order to make accurate offers. And also we use Propstream for our marketing. We pull a lot of different lists from Propstream in order to cold call and text blast and mail to and do all that types of different marketing to. And so Propstream not only can help you figure out values, but it can also give you all the marketing tools that you need. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's have you share your screen. Let's show them exactly the software and show them what it can do.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd like to start by just kind of sharing everybody like what we do on the back end. We collect data, the same data you can potentially collect. Some of it's easy, some of it's a little bit harder. But this is just an idea of like just the type of data that we have. So we have residential data, commercial, industrial, vacant land, and more, such as like exempt properties, agricultural, transportation. What I'm referring to are just the property characteristics, like the beds, bathrooms, the year built, the building size, the land information. So that's just one data set. So as you can see, whether you're doing residential or you evolve over into commercial or any other classification, we have you covered. But we know that you need more than just that. So we provide tax information, pre-foreclosure data, sales and deed data, open mortgage data, past mortgage data, involuntary liens like a child support lien or HOA or federal, state, or property tax lien. We even have third-party data like MLS data. So we can show you which properties are listed. We also have historical MLS data, like which properties failed, and MLS sold data as well. We also have the data that's a little bit harder to acquire, but we have it, like document images. You can actually purchase the deed of a property, pre-foreclosure documents, estimated value, master addresses, parcel boundaries, HOA data, and even data that we've created on our own, like flippers. We can show you who's buying and selling properties in less than 2 years. We can show you who's not answering their mail. And we're the first to discover pre-probate data. Essentially, we created that, and it's showing you who's passed away with the property still attached to their name. This is what we have in our server right now, but the key component is what we do with this data. First off, not only are we collecting this data from multiple providers, so we are a multi-source data aggregator, but we make that data communicate with one another. Because if you collect tax data and MLS data on your own, they don't speak to one another. So we had to do that. Now, the reason we did that is so that we can address the two things that you need to address in your business. And that's lead generation and analyzing a property, right? Whether you're a banker, whether you're a construction worker, whether you're a fix and flipper, a wholesaler, I mean, the real estate space is very, very big. And again, we provide data. But as far as I know, everybody in this space has to do two things: generate leads and then analyze those properties once they start calling back. And when it comes to lead generation, because we've been in this business since 2006, we understand there's different levels of users. Some of us just need the data and that's it. So part one is where most of us are going to essentially utilize, or what most of us are going to do right off the bat, which is build a list. We're going to search our market, and Propstream is nationwide, and we do give you 10,000 records every month. But you're going to be able to search your market, filter through our data, save your lists, and then export our data. So now you have that senior owners list, or that pre-foreclosure list, or that lien list, or whatever whatever you decide to make. Part two, skip tracing. So if you want a landline, a cell phone, or an email, we can get that for you. At no additional cost, we'll even show you the most recent number and put that at the very top. And we'll DNC scrub the list for you too. We'll show you which numbers are on the do not call list at no additional cost. And part 3, marketing. So if I'm busy, I have a 9 to 5, I have kids after work I have to worry about, we can help you with marketing. You can build a list in part 1, you can skip trace and directly market to that list. We'll give you a website at no additional cost. And then you could send out postcards and emails. So it kind of looks like this: search a market, build a seniors list, skip trace that seniors list, maybe call the phone numbers I decide to call. For the ones that don't answer, I'm going to set up a marketing campaign. The website's going to say, I can help you find a retirement home. And then I could send out postcards and then emails to those senior owners. Now, whether you do this in Propstream or not, it's going to lead into analyzing a property. Why? Because someone will call you back. Hey, I got your postcard. Maybe you call them and they actually pick up the phone. At that point, Propstream is going to help you by identifying the property simply by searching the address. And we're going to give you all that data that I just showed you a few moments ago. When you pull up a property, all of this information on that property will be visible. Why? So you can go through our system and find opportunities. I'm a believer that a lead isn't always on a list, like a pre-foreclosure list or a lien list. Sometimes homeowners want to sell because the property's falling apart because it's over 100 years old, or they have multiple mortgages, or their taxes have been increasing, or they live out of state. Maybe it's a 2-story building and they want a 1-story building now, right? Lots of information you can extract from our property details. And then finally, you got to run comps. Running comps will help you get an idea of what the after repair value, or what I like to think of as the 100% value. Once you know what the 100% value is because of other properties that are similar in what they're selling for after it's been rehabbed, you now know what 70% is, right? You now know what 50% is. You need to have comps to know what that after repair value is, AKA the 100% value, to know what 70% is, 50%. You even print out the reports and hand that to your homeowners and sellers. So, our homeowners and buyers, I'm sorry. And we do have additional filters, features, mobile app, team members, and our list automator, which I like because you can build a list and going forward, automate it. Anytime a new record shows up with your filter, we just add it for you and email it, or email you a notification. You can even import an outside list and we give you our data on top of that outside list. So whether it's a list from 4 years ago or a list from a different company or provider, bring it over and we can give you our data so you can make better decisions. So with that said, that's what we've been doing for 16 years. This is Propstream. When you log in, our What's New pop-up will tell you about our new features like the MLS data that came back, live webinars we do daily, and our additional features. But remember, we're nationwide. For those that really want to see what we do really well at, this is it. On a nationwide scale, we're dealing with 154 million property records, but I can zoom in on any market and pull up a property's information. Like I can go to Wichita, Kansas, click on a property, and then immediately within a few seconds, know everything about that property. I know Bailey owns the property. I know when it was built. I know property characteristics. I see that this property was sold back in 2019 on the MLS. I can run comps on this property. I can see the tax information. I can see the mortgage provider and the potential mortgage balance, the mortgage type, interest rate, and I can even purchase documents on this property. This is what we do very, very well at. And again, not just for one market, but on a nationwide scale. And this is something for those that are watching now that are new investors or just new to the industry. This is unheard of. You go back 20 years ago and you're usually just in your market. You didn't have this much information. And if the homeowner says, I want to sell my house that's actually in Nashville, Tennessee, you wouldn't be able to go to Nashville, Tennessee and do the same thing, right? Zoom in on a property or even a commercial building and know within a few moments who owns that property. This is what Propstream's been doing for the last 16 years, getting data from multiple providers, putting it on one page so that right away you can talk to the owners with confidence and ask important questions like, hey, I see your house is built over 100 years ago. When was the last time you did the roof? Rather than asking them, hey, when was your house built? And then they're going to say, I thought you're supposed to know that, and then hang up on you, right? Because that could happen. So that's what we've been doing, gathering data from all the different corners of the real estate world, putting it together on a nationwide scale. Now that you know what we do with our data, let's show you how you can manipulate that data. This is what I was showing you guys a few moments ago, which is part one, how to build a list. So the first thing you need to do is search a market. Jacob, is there a market you want me to search?
Let's do Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia.
All right, let's do Atlanta. So the first thing I want you guys to understand is when you search a market, we're not giving you every address in the market. We're just giving you all the properties that are on a list that we've collected, like the MLS list or the pre-foreclosure, the auctions list, right? Now we do have every property information. So all you have to do is just, again, zoom in and click on that parcel and we'll pull up that individual property's information. But when you're searching for leads, we're not giving you every address. It's not how it normally works. We're just giving you what's on a list. Now, some of you guys are watching and you're probably wondering, well, how frequently do you guys update? I get this question a lot, so we might as well address it. We update on a daily basis because we deal on a nationwide level, right? California could send us an update today, tomorrow it could be Nevada, the next day it could be Texas. But the real question that it should be is, when does my market actually update? So let me show you something really cool. When you pull up a market, your results will always be on the right side. There's this little tab right here. If you click on it, it'll give you our spreadsheet view. And there is a column that says last updated. If you actually click on that column, I usually click on it twice, it puts the most recent one at the highest. So the last updated record in Atlanta, Georgia was about 2 days ago. Today's the 14th, and we're showing records from the 12th. Now, if you really want to get into finer detail, the next question is probably, well, when was the MLS last updated? Go ahead and click on that category, spreadsheet view, last update, again, hit it twice, and you can see when the last MLS update was. Now, the one thing you have to remember is that all those different providers of data that we collect, they don't all update on the same day. Some of them update on a daily basis, some of them update on a monthly basis, and some of them just come in when they come in, like pre-probates. We don't time anybody's death, right? Once our logic captures a scenario like that, we put it in our system. If you really wanted to know, just go ahead and click on the category. Like, when was the last cash buyer record in Atlanta? Hit that spreadsheet view and last update twice. And as you can see, the last record was actually on May 25th, not on June 12th, 2 days ago, like the MLS data was. So we update daily because any record can come in on a daily basis, but every one of these data sets will have a different frequency. And if you want to capture that frequency, definitely use that spreadsheet view. So not only do I use it for the last update, but I like to use it for other stuff like, hey, show me all the cash buyers in Atlanta, but break them up by zip code. Now I can see which zip code has the most cash transactions, and we can go after that zip code and market heavily to those leads there, right? So get a little of the spreadsheet view. It could be very beneficial so you can understand the market. So remember, when you pull up a market, we're just giving you all the leads that we've collected. Get used to going into our filter. Our filter is your best friend. Now, once you're here, there are two types of searches that you can perform. There's the traditional search, which looks like this. You're going to go and choose a quick list choice. Just like in the past, you would go to the county and you would need to ask them for a specific list. So I want you to think of it that way. When you go into Propstream, search a market, your quick list choice is that list of properties that you can start with. In this case, pre-foreclosures, or perhaps the tax delinquencies, or the divorces, or the flippers, whatever you want to go after. Now you can stop there, right? So we could hit close. So what started at 300,000 records is now down to 47,000, right? That might be a lot. So back to the filter we go, and on the left-hand side are the additional filters. So if I say, hey, I don't want it occupied and I want it vacant, the only reason you're getting these results are because that's exactly what's in the data, non-owner occupied and vacant. So if I go in the filter and say non-owner occupied, and I want this person to have 2 open mortgages, then guess what, ladies and gentlemen, these 7 properties here are non-owner occupied, vacant, and the homeowner's making 2 mortgage payments on a vacant property. You're manipulating our data is what you're doing in our filter. And feel free to stack. If you want to stack the tax delinquency and see who also filed for bankruptcy in our bankruptcy section, you can definitely do that. If there's no availabilities, there's no availabilities. Maybe choose another topic like tax delinquencies, and maybe those that have an active lien, like a tax lien of 5,000 or more. So feel free to stack our data because we've made it communicate with one another. But let me make it much easier for you. The two types of searches I'm referring to are what I call the traditional search and the 4 golden rules. The traditional search goes like this: pick a list, but make sure it's off market so you don't have to pay 5 to 15% over asking price right now. By the way, most of us go after off market properties, right? So pick a list and make sure it's off market. 3, make sure it has equity. Depending on your strategy, you're going to need to put a certain amount of equity. And 4, your property and owner characteristics. So although we have over 150 plus filters you can play with, the traditional search usually goes like this: Atlanta, tax delinquency, MLS status, on market no. And our new feature that we just added is also never listed. You can actually go into our records and look for properties that have never been on the MLS. And so not only do I want it off market, but I want them to never have hit the market at any point in time. After that, equity, valuation equity. If we're looking to wholesale this property, maybe we want to look for properties with 40% minimum equity or more. And finally, because we're each different, what type of property and owner do you want to speak with? The property that I want to go after are residential, single family properties, no more than 5 bedrooms, and built before maybe 2000. And finally, I'm about to call these individuals. Type of individual I want to speak with is an individual owner, not a secretary, not the front desk, but an individual who's probably owned this property for 10 years or more. And at that point, I can now hit close or stack a little bit more filters. Like, not only did you miss your tax payment, but you also have 2 mortgage payments you got to worry about. Now I can hit close. And those are my 301 highly targeted leads. They've missed the tax payment. They're off market. They have just the right amount of equity to wholesale. And they also have to worry about 2 mortgage payments on top of that missed tax payment. So at this point, you have your highly targeted leads. Instead of going after every lead in the market, you're going after 301 that fit your specific criteria. From there, you can hit add to lists, create a new list, call it the Atlanta tax list, hit save, and you're done with part 1. For those of us that just need the addresses of these tax delinquent properties, once you save it, go to my properties, find your ATL tax list, check them off, and see you later, right? Hit that export button, you'll get that CSV file, and you can hand it to whoever needs to have this list at that point. Or you can skip trace that list with Propstream, and in about 5 minutes or less, within your contacts page in the skip tracing area, you can get the contact information, landline, cell phones, and the emails of these homeowners. And then you can check them off and export, right? Since 9 out of 10 of us are walking around with a cell phone, why not just get the cell phones while you're at it and save yourself that gas money that's in, every day increasing in price. And the last step is our marketing area. You could build a list, you could save it and export it, you could skip trace it and then export it, or you can just take it over to our campaign area and start a new campaign. You call it the ATL tax campaign. Choose your list, start that list, and we'll separate from all the other campaigns so you don't cause any confusion. And your campaign will get a free website that you can set up. And you can call it, the Burton Tax Expert website. And if that name is available, you're good to go. You can start with a predefined website. You can change the name, we buy houses, or I'm a tax expert for 15 years, whatever that message is that's going to resonate with this specific list. After that, you can publish your website, go back to your dashboard of 301 homeowners, and there's the website for them specifically, and an application that they can fill out. So the cool thing about our campaign area is you can have as many campaigns as you like. one for an auction. And so therefore you're probably going to have a website that says I can buy your house in 30 days or less. Then you're probably going to have a campaign for cash buyers. So your website will probably say, hey, cash buyers like this one, how would you like to make $200,000 in 2 weeks? Any campaign that, or any website or list that you create, feel free to create a campaign for that list, and that website can be for their situation. Okay. This is the lead generation with Propstream, and this is just one aspect of your business. The next aspect is what happens when they actually do call you back. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do, ladies and gentlemen. You just go back to our search bar, and let's say 875 Eden Avenue were to call us back. You just type in that address. And what will happen at that point is we'll just give you just that address's information. So that specific address will populate. This is going to look like this. Homeowner calls you. Hi, this is Burton. Thanks for calling me. Got your postcard, Burton. Oh, great. What's your address? Type in the address. We'll give you a brief description of that property so you can confirm it with the homeowner. Is this the address built in 1941? Homeowner says, yes, great. Let me just take a look at your neighbors really quick. Let me take a look at the statistics, right? See whether the market has gone up in price or in rent, or down in price, down in rent. And if I do decide to buy this 2-bedroom property, how fast will it move on the market? And other very important information. You have the map as your tool, right? We use Google Maps, so you can see the corner property, even drop the Google person on the floor and take a look at that property. Build a relationship, ask about the neighbors, right? How long have those trees been there? Are they touching the roof in any shape, way, or form, right? And last but certainly not least, we'll also take that zip code of that property and show you the local listings. I think the most important one is, are there any cash buyers in that area? So this introduction could be 30 seconds, it could be 5 minutes, it could be 15 minutes. But if you feel like the conversation is going to go further, go into our details. At this point, when you're talking to the homeowner, in this case, Aaron, you have important information that's going to help you build your credibility. Like, the lot size, again, the year built. Instead of asking, hey, when was your property built? Today, you could say, I know your property was built nearly 70 years ago, or more than 7 years ago. Have you done the roof twice? Right? Because usually every 30 years, you got to do the roof. I have property characteristics, land location information, tax info, the 2 mortgages that we asked for. I can see who the lenders are. And if the homeowner really wants to sell, I'm not going to just offer him $1 million, right? That's not how it works. So I'm going to go into the comparables, and I could see the sales, public records, MLS records, or both. I can see what's flipped, what was been bought and sold in less than 2 years. And I like this list because it'll show you the townhouses or single family properties that were flipped, their beds and bathrooms, what they were purchased for and when they were purchased, and what they were sold for. Look at this flip that happened in 4 months. Bought it for $255, flipped it 4 months later for $514,000. This is not coincidence, but through logic, we're able to identify that. Neighboring records, cash transactions. But the most important one's really the comparables. So here you can choose public records, MLS, apply some filters like only look for the 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom properties, year built, square footage, whether it's sold, whether it's listed, whether you want cash transactions only or properties that were approved and financed by a bank. You can go out a mile, go down a quarter mile because this is a very dense area. Apples to apples. I don't need these townhouses. I need residential and single family properties. And finally, you have your results, and you have to just ask yourself why. Why did 1913 sell for $559? And you can take a look at that information, right? Finally, ladies and gentlemen, take our data, if you will. You can check off your comps, go to actions, and view comps report. When it comes to running comps, sometimes you're going to get homeowners who are going to ask for ridiculous pricing. Don't argue, right? Educate them. Use our data, pull the comps out, show them their property and property characteristics. Then with the comps, you can show them the low, the high, and the average value in that market, where they're located at compared to the subject property, the sources that you utilize to pull these comps. And finally, We'll even provide any other detail on these properties, photos included, so they can see what these comps look like at the end of the day. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our Propstream application, how we're using our data over 16 plus years to provide you the resources to help you with what you're doing already, generating leads and analyzing property. So Jacob, thank you so much for letting me break that down to your audience today.
Thank you for doing that, because if you don't have Propstream, you just can't become a successful wholesaler. It's impossible. You literally need a platform like this in order to do this business. And so if you're not on Propstream already, I highly recommend that you sign up. Everybody that's coming from my YouTube channel can get a 7-day free trial. There's a link in the description of this YouTube video to get a 7-day free trial. Try it out for 7 days for free. If you like it, great. If you don't, that's okay, right? And I believe it's $99 a month right now, right?
That's correct. It's $99 a month, but with your link, with Jacob's link, guys, if you click on it, Jacob has gotten a $2 discount. So you'll be getting it for $97 a month.
Sweet.
You can use that $2 for skip tracing, for postcards.
Sweet.
It definitely adds up.
Use my link in the description, get a 7-day free trial. If you like it, amazing. And then it will be $97 a month. So you're going to get a discount every single month for coming from me. And I promise you, this is a necessary tool for you if you're trying to wholesale real estate. It doesn't matter if you haven't done your first deal or if you've done 10 deals. This is a platform that you need to be using in order to get better at the business and get into the business. So it's something that I've used my whole journey, and it's something that I highly recommend that you use. And again, I think this video gave you a great understanding of what it can do. And, Propstream's great. They've got team members that can help you learn the platform as well. They've got programs on their website, online, courses to go through to learn their platform in depth. So that way you can use it to the best of your ability. So I know there's a lot of stuff on Propstream, but they have all the knowledge out there on their website and everything for you to learn it in depth. So I highly recommend that you get started with it, and I guarantee it'll help you out. But other than that, thank you, Burton, for joining me. And all of you guys, subscribe to the channel. Make sure to hit that red button down below. But other than that, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.